Alright, hey everyone, I got another chess video today. Hopefully I get the audio correct on it. I already have the mic fully extended, so there won't be any of the weird thing in the previous video. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go queen opening as always. He does the same thing, that's a pretty good move. Good go king, queen. Yeah. Pawn here. Pretty typical of me to put my pawn there. I kept hitting hard P's in that whole entire sentence. That was pretty bad. Now I'm hitting hissing S's. He moves his knight. Now he's attacking that pawn and that spot. And that spot and that spot. But nothing very important. So I move this pawn forward. Protect that pawn. I typically do this. Or at least I've recently started doing this in my games to help out a little bit. Move my bishop here, just cause. Gives me a lot more coverage and blocks off this area to the unknown. Move this knight forward. So now he's gonna get my bishop here to move over here. He responds by moving his pawn, of course, and I move the back one. So now if he moves his horse, it's pinned down temporarily until this comes down here, or something along those lines, which it did. Now I'm attacking this pawn. He moves his bishop in to attack my knight. I move this pawn forward. He takes that pawn, I take his pawn. He takes, what was that? That pawn. And I move in to attack his bishop here. So he takes the, what was that? Knight, and I take his bishop. Well, I had a brain fight right there. I took his bishop anyways. Now he's threatening my movements here and here. He's attacking that pawn and that spot. It's not much coverage. I move my rook. Damn it, rook. Over here, he moves his queen to put me in check. I move my knight down. He probably should have just taken the rook. He would have been up at a resource, but he doesn't. So I move this to attack his knight. Getting rid of this knight would be really good for me. Moves his bishop down here, which doesn't serve a purpose at all. I mean, I suppose it's a spot for it to rest, but it's not attacking anything. There's nothing here for it to attack, and everything along here is all his. So not really much of a purpose in that movement. My king is never going to end up over there. So I take his piece like I wanted to, which is good for me, because now I can't down trade. He moves his queen there. I gobble up this bishop, which is now hanging because his queen moved. So now I'm up a little bit on resources. I take, or I move my castle over one. I let him take that pawn, and then I take his pawn with my pawn. I left him open, but there's a rook guarding him, so hopefully nothing too bad happens. Now he's attacking this knight with his rook up here. So now I'm threatening to take his queen. If he doesn't move it, he moves it down. I move my king up one. Now I'm protecting this bishop, and he can't take anything with his queen as of right now. He moves his bishop. That's not bishop, that's called a pawn. Anyway, so I move my rook to the left one, just to attack that spot and to keep it from getting taken. He moves his other pawn down, so now I move down to here where his queen is sitting, because now it's within guarding range of my queen, and if he takes it, I'll take his queen, so he has to move his queen now. He moves his queen up, so I move this knight over here to the rim, which rims are grim, but I didn't have much of a choice as where to put him, so I put him there. He moves his pawn down one, I move my knight up one. Moves his pawn down one. Now I'm going to move my rook up one, so as soon as that pawn moves, I'm going to take his queen. Moves his other pawn down. Not much of a purpose. A waste of a turn, I suppose. So I move this pawn forward, which will allow me to either take this pawn or let him take it and I'll take his pawn. It'll allow more mobility to this horse, which I'm going to use to my advantage. He moves his pawn down one, trying to get a queen, but I just move this rook. Or not rook, why am I mixing up rooks and bishops? I suppose it's because they move on one single axis, that's why. The purpose of moving this bishop here is to open up this. So once it touches down over here, I'll just take it with my rook. He puts me in check, so instead of doing what he's expecting, I move over up one. So he takes my queen, but I'm just going to take his queen. We do a queen exchange, and then I take his extra queen in a moment second. He gobbles up this pawn on the far left. Now he's threatening this bishop, but I don't really much care because I got a knight guarding it. Moves his pawn down, I just gobble up that pawn. Why not? It's free. Gobbles up my... oh yeah, no, there was a bad problem there. That was one of my main problems. Okay. Note to self. Don't fall for a simple pawn trap. So I gobble up that, and he gobbles up that, and then I put him in check. He moves here. Alright, that's fine, whatever. I move my pawn forward, now I'm threatening this knight here. The reason, by the way, he's not gobbling up either of these pieces or moving around them or whatever is, I don't know. He can't take that, obviously, and he can't take that, but he should be able to move this down and try to get to there instead of worrying about this horse that I'm taking. This is the worst possible movement he could have done in the entire game of ever, because now that's checkmate. Now let's break this checkmate down because it has a lot of things going for it. If you were to try to go right here, knight. If you were to try to go right here, pawn. If you try to go right there, rook. It's not called a castle, John. It's not called a castle, it's called a rook. Rook. He stays where he's at. Knight. If he tries to move down one, bishop. That's all. But he could have done in this situation, instead of moving it there, which limited his mobility and ultimately put him in checkmate, was move it there. Not a great spot, but it's something. Let me take it. It's an alright move because then he gets to move one of these pieces. Or that's not about, or he can move there, of course, but then I take it. Could move there, but then I'll take it. So yeah, that piece was mine no matter what he did in this situation, unless he moved it there. No, I'd take it even if it was there because my rook over here is guarding that lane. He thought this was his only safe spot for that knight. He was dead wrong in making that assumption. And it ultimately cost him the game, so yeah. If you guys like my videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have fun playing chess. See you guys next time. Have fun.